Yes, I've killed plants, a lot of them, but each mistake taught me something important. And today I'm sharing 5 common houseplant mistakes so you don't have to repeat them. Mistake number 1, overwatering or underwatering. Overwatering your plant, if you're like me, I always just think of it as, oh, I'm giving it more love. And then next thing you know, it is turning yellow, the leaves are like becoming dead, and the whole plant starts to die, and then you have root rot and a dead plant. So that is one extreme. Underwatering is the other, where we forget to water the plant or we don't water it properly, and so we're providing it with a water we think is enough, but it's not, and it becomes underwatered in certain areas, and then the plant starts to die. Not as common, but it can happen. Most people give their plants too much water. Most plants prefer less water, but the best way to know how much water your plant needs is to check the soil. So what I've found is using something like a moisture meter, probing the soil 2 to 3 inches, sometimes depending on your pot, 3 to 4 inches, and the type of plant it is. Those will tell you whether or not the soil is dry and whether or not the soil is ready for more moisture. So a moisture meter is a great way to better understand what our plant is needing. Also, we can use a chopstick or a probe of some type to go into the soil to see whether or not the soil is wet, about 1 to 2 inches down, depending on the plant. Also, you can use your finger. You can dig your finger into the pot to see whether or not the soil is moist or whether it's dry a couple inches down, and that's going to help determine whether or not that plant is in need of water. So this is what happens when you underwater your plant and you get dry, crispy leaves. So mistake number 1 is overwatering and underwatering your plant. Okay, mistake number 2, the wrong lighting. Lighting for your plant is crucial. And this is where it gets a little complicated because you need to know what your plants need. Most plants will survive with adequate lighting. Some will survive with low lighting, but most appreciate bright lighting. But you need to know which plant needs what and when to give it the appropriate amount. Mistake number 2, the wrong lighting. Put a plant that is a low light plant in a bright sunny window and you'll scorch the leaves. Take a low light or a bright light plant and put it in a dark corner and you'll see it start to fail because it doesn't have adequate lighting. So mistake number 2 is the wrong lighting. So how do we know what is the best lighting? Learn each plant's lighting needs and then try to find a place that will provide it with that amount of lighting. It's good to have sometimes a lighting meter. If you can get a lighting meter, they're relatively inexpensive online, and you can use that to see how much light your plant needs and whether or not you've placed it in an area that is appropriate for that amount of lighting. Another area where you can supplement your plants or help your plants with their lighting is by rotating your plant. Sometimes we'll place a plant in a window and the plant faces the window side will get adequate lighting, but the back side will not. Your plant starts to grow over toward the light. So the best way to make sure that your plant is doing well is 360 degrees. Keep turning your plant, making sure that it is getting the adequate lighting on all the sides. Not all plants should be turned, but get to know your plants and get to know which ones. You'll start to see them chasing the sun. So just know whether or not this is a type of plant that can actually be turned or not. So rotating your plant is a good way to keep it well lit, but also sometimes we have areas where we'd like a plant and it's just not appropriate with the amount of light that's natural coming in. So we can supplement it with a grow light. Grow lights these days have vastly improved from the way they used to be, and they come in relatively all shapes, sizes, and you can pretty much find any grow light that is going to accommodate whatever your specific needs are. That's a great option that we might want to choose if we don't have a lot of light in our living space. So making sure that you have the appropriate amount of light, or giving it a form of artificial light like a grow light if needed. Mistake number 3, not repotting when needed. How many of us have done this? We take our pot, we go to look at the roots, and we see what the roots are doing, and they're circling around the bottom of the plant. They're sticking out. This isn't necessarily a problem. This is where the plant is actually, the roots are looking for moisture. They're trying to find the moisture, and these roots are all nice, white, healthy roots. But sometimes you'll take your inner pot out and you'll look at the roots, and you'll see all of these roots are circling and circling around at the bottom of the pot, searching for new soil. So if we don't pot our plants when we need to, we run the risk of them becoming root bound, and the soil becomes depleted and also can become very dry. And the small amount of soil that is in the pot is going to be hydrophobic, or not want to absorb water. So the soil doesn't really become very moist and doesn't give adequate moisture to the plant. So we need to make sure that those roots have adequate soil to thrive in and to live and to grow, and also where they can actually retain and gain the moisture that they need so that they can continue to be healthy. So a gentle reminder would be to check the soil on your plants at least annually. If your plant starts to look distressed, you might want to check it to see if that's an issue, but you want to at least check your plant's soil and roots annually so that you can give them the opportunity. Not all plants needed repotted annually. Most plants don't, but you just need to check, make sure that your plant is the healthiest, and give it that opportunity to thrive. Okay, tip number 4, the wrong soil mix. So knowing what is the appropriate soil mix for your plants is going to help them to thrive. Soil is extremely important, as we've discussed. Like, for instance, you don't want to use the soil out of the garden and put it in your pot and assume that your houseplant is going to appreciate that soil or thrive with it. This is a big mistake, because most often the soil from the garden doesn't have the adequate drainage that your houseplants are going to need. Okay, mistake number 5, ignoring pests or brown leaves. Pests can take over your plant, and it can be a very costly problem and time consuming. It's just not fun for any of us. But being a plant owner, you're most likely going to encounter pests. So what do? Let's just do whatever we can to arm ourselves with the best knowledge and understanding of how to treat these pests. Each pest is going to be slightly different, but when you do have a pest problem, it's going to affect the plant more or less the same way, which is kill your plant. And we don't want that. So what we want to do is inspect our plants routinely. I try to inspect my plants every time I water them, which is, depending on how frequently the watering schedule is on the plant, is at least once a month for most of them. So we want to make sure that we're inspecting our plants, giving them the best opportunity to thrive, and make sure that those pests are not having a foothold or a stronghold on one plant, because that can also spread to all of your plants or your whole collection. So making sure we're inspecting, keeping the pests away. If we notice pests, then we're going to learn what kind it is and we're going to fight it off. The other thing is brown leaves. If we have leaves that are dying or yellowing and going to die or brown leaves that are on our plant, we need to ensure that we remove them, because a dead leaf or a dying leaf is an opportunity for pests to come in and take over. So removing that will help remove the opportunity for pests. So taking care of brown leaves as soon as possible is the best method to helping control pests. It's giving your plants the perfect opportunity to survive and to ward off pests on their own. So yes, we all make mistakes. We all have trouble with our plants from time to time. We all have different things that pop up that challenge our plants. But like I said, it's always an opportunity to learn and grow and improve. It's an opportunity to do better and to give our plants the best care that we can. So yes, we are going to make mistakes, but with each brown leaf, it's just a part of the journey, and it's an opportunity for us to grow and learn. So don't look at these little issues as setbacks or failures. They are opportunities. They're perfect teaching tools for us to be able to learn and to do better the next time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.